If you want the short version, Resleriana is the prettiest atelier in years, with a cozy clever shop system and snappy turn-based fights, haunted by the ghost of a shutdown gacha and a late-game boss spike that can punt your picnic basket into orbit. If that contradiction intrigues you, welcome to the Atelier. Set up first. This is Koei Tecmo Gust bringing the Resleriana name back to consoles, PC after the mobile spin-off got Thanos snapped earlier this year. Dual leads, Reyes and Slade. Release is September 26, 2025 on PS5, Switch 2, PC. No English VO, Japanese only. The split across reviews is clean. Hardcore gamer lands 4 out of 5. Raves about the art direction, expressive faces, sparkling eyes, dreamy atelier vignette, and calls the turn-based system simple but fun, with crafting that actually matters. They ding UI choices, tutorial gaps, thin enemy variety, and a ridiculous Chapter 6 duo that nukes your party even on easy. The Sixth Axis sits around an 8 out of 10, loves the character chemistry, celebrates the new shopkeeping layer, and enjoys the combo-forward combat. They also flag that the story, world-building, lean on Wanderer cameos, fan-pleasing but shallow, clearly imported from the mobile era. Shacknews is harsher, argues the whole structure feels fed through a mobile wood chipper, menu-heavy loops, color-swap fairy workers, and lore chunks that assume you played a game that no longer exists. So what's actually here? Turn-based combat that feels like a deliberate rewind from Ryza Yumiya's real-time swirl. 6-member squads with a front row, back row, an AP economy that refreshes and a visible turn bar sprinkled with 1-turn buff tokens. That last bit is the spice. If you can delay enemies or push your turn up, you snipe buffs and snowball. Multi-action interrupt lets you choreograph mini barrages. Think, pick 3 characters, stack a heal, debuff plus finisher, then watch the dominoes. It's not as kinetic as the secret Yumiya era, but it's brisk and readable in a way a lot of turn-based JRPGs aren't. Pattern interrupt, alchemy with purpose. Yes, you still craft bombs, panaceas, and god-tier boots. But the standout is the new store meta. You stock a shelf with items you've synthesized, line up left-right color attributes to trigger bonuses, assign fairy staff to cleaning, customer flow, and service, then cash out to upgrade Holfine. It's reset your energy by menu, not real time, but it gives synthesis a second dopamine loop. Make money as well as make damage. It pairs nicely with the town growth track, level farming, manufacturing. Watch Holfine bloom, unlock more stock and side perks. It's the kind of scaffold you want Gust to blow out in the next game. Where the glue peels is the gacha hangover. The Wanderers, dimension-tossed heroes from past ateliers, are fun cameos, but the game treats their existence like a shrug. People get yanked from other worlds, build a life here, and it's mostly exposition seasoning so your faves can quip. The plot that is here, reviving a town shattered by a disaster 12 years ago. Rias learning to see mana, works, and the character pair is a good odd couple. Rias grows on you, Slade anchors the mood, but the bigger mythos feels stitched from mobile UI wireframes. UI and onboarding messy. Tutorials drown you in words, then leave critical systems half-explained. The infamous Bungie gem variations for traversal never get a clean recipe flow. Exploration tools gate better materials, but the game barely signals why they matter until you trip over them. Craft recipes show icons instead of names. Sorting by AZ, not happening. You can filter, and once you find the item, the quest tracker will highlight where it's found. Genuinely helpful. But getting there is friction. Dark joke. Resleriana crafts brilliant bombs, but not clear tooltips. Performance Polish footnote. At least one review hit a hard crash launching Reyes prologue on console. Some boss cinematic stutter hard enough to throw off perfect block timing. Certain attack camera angles make it tough to see cues. It's not a disaster, but it chips at trust, especially when the game expects reaction blocks. Also, enemy variety is light. 8 to 10 archetypes, palette swapped. The animations sell hits, but your brain clocks the repeats. Quick spoiler in 3, 2, 1. Chapter 6 unleashes a tag team with cinematic one-shots that ignore your guard. It's a shocking swerve for a game that's breezy up to then and multiple outlets called it out. Spoilers over, practical fix. Treat it like a final exam. Come in with status resist accessories, a party that can stack DFM debuffs on the bosses and party-wide mitigation on you. and gear that's a tier above your comfort zone. Also, abuse the turn bar. Steal buff tokens, delay their bursts, and feed AP into multi-action chains that end with a cleanse or shield. If you still bounce, go grind side missions, craft upgraded armor rather than chasing only weapon DPS, and use items like Dark Water to tick them down safely while you stabilize. A few smart habits to keep the loop satisfying. Front-load synthesis for gear, not just consumables. The delta from a tier bump is huge here. Stock your shop shelf with color adjacency in mind. Small optimizations pay real cash dividends. Always cook up exploration tools for the next biome. They quietly unlock higher tier mats that outclass drops. In fights, prioritize turn manipulation over raw numbers. Stealing buff pips and triggering follow-ups outpaces brute force. Don't neglect back row passives. Some characters buff from reserve and supercharge multi-action turns. Now the verdict you came for. Veteran Games take. Resleriana is a recommend with caveats. If you're here for classic Atelier, turn-based tinkering, cozy growth, a soundtrack that sparkles, and characters who bounce off each other, the heart's beating strong. The new shop system is a keeper. The combat finds a clear rhythm, and the art is genuinely gorgeous on every close-up. But the mobile DNA shows shallow side loops, cameo-driven world building, UI that needs a patch pass, and one baffling difficulty spike that betrays the cozy tone. If you can live with that split personality, you'll have a lovely time. If gacha residue makes you itch, you'll feel it in the seams. If this kind of no BS deep dive is your thing, hitch a ride with Veteran Game and hit subscribe. If you're nodding or clutching your controller over chapter 6, drop a like so this take survives the algorithm. Final spicy prompt. Are anniversary crossovers like Wanderers a fun treat? Or do they cheapen a world when the source context is offline forever? And should Gust evolve the shop into a full Resetier style playable loop next time? Or keep it cozy by menu?